Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and in this video, since it's New Year's Eve, I'm going to talk about my top 5 comic books I read in 2013. Let's get started with number 5 from Marvel, Hawkeye by Matt Fraction and art by David Aja. Pretty much Matt Fraction's writing with David Aja's very bright art. Well, not very bright, but it's very vibrant, pretty full of life. Does a great job with the series. Pretty much everyone who's read this has had a positive review. I enjoyed it too. When the first issue came out, I didn't read it, but then everyone kept saying it was a good job, and I decided, okay, I'll get it. Then I got it. Eventually, I got the first trade. I pretty much weighted the rest of the series. However, now I've decided. Yesterday I went around town and collected the most recent issues because now I'm going to be getting it monthly. This series is great. It does a good job showing how much of an interesting character Hawkeye is outside of the Avengers, because pretty much ever since his debut, Hawkeye has always been with the Avengers. He's had a couple of solo titles, but they've all been miniseries. Now this is an ongoing. Everyone loves it. We're pretty much seeing one of the most well-known Avengers who has no superpower, seeing how he is outside of the team, what he does on a regular basis. And I mean that. Most of the stories are, even though they do involve some superheroics, some of the times it's just Hawkeye on a normal, average type of day. And it's not just Clint Barton, who the main character, who's interesting, but also his supporting cast. There's Kate Bishop, the young Hawkeye of the Young Avengers, who's sort of his protege, mentee type of relationship, and also another friend from his building Grills. And who doesn't love Pizza Dog? Yeah, Pizza Dog is great. He even got his own one-shot story, one issue. So that was pretty nice. Yeah, but overall, Hawkeye is pretty much one of the best series out there. Everyone says so, and I agree. It's great. It's got some action. It's got it's relatable because again, Hawkeye, he doesn't have any superpowers, and he is really most of the time he is just an average guy. So I think that's great. And terrific artwork and writing as well. So yeah, overall, Hawkeye, very nice. Definitely something everyone should pick up. All right, next up, number four on my list is Batman by Scott Snyder with artwork by Greg Capullo. This year a lot has happened in the main Batman title. We saw pretty much in January we got the conclusion of Death of the Family, which saw the return of the Joker, and then after that we had a little bit of an interlude arc connecting to Damian Wayne's death from Batman Incorporated, where Batman was still grieving over the loss of his son, but after that, for the rest of the year, it was pretty much Zero Year, which was a reimagining of Batman's first year as Gotham's Dark Knight. Yeah, Zero Year so far has been pretty great. It's definitely an original. Has some elements from year one, particularly when Bruce Wayne kind of has the revelation that he needs the bat symbol to sort of help strike fear in the hearts of his criminals. And also we had the whole Red Hood origin, and also the way Greg Capullo draws Batman's costume during Zero Year is very similar to the way Batman looked in his first appearance back in Detective Comics number 27. So that's very awesome. Batman is just one of the best DC comics out there. It's something I've been reading since the start of the New 52. I mean, Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo do bring both Scott Snyder's writing and Capello's artwork blend really well to make this an awesome title. All right, next up, number 3, Green Arrow. Now, the reason Green Arrow is higher on this list than Batman is because I just started reading Green Arrow because of what happened in 2013. Pretty much since the start of the New 52, Green Arrow wasn't really doing well. I can really think most of the time when people were talking about it, I think everyone was just like, either it was a hit or miss, or it was, not terrible but still not good. So it wasn't Green Arrow didn't really have much of a positive reception until Jeff Lemire took over. Okay, once Jeff Lemire took over, this book soared sky high. All right, pretty much one of the first things Lemire did was he put a greater emphasis on the island where Oliver was shipwrecked and learned all his skills to become the Emerald Archer. Now the island is pretty much revealed to be something that Oliver's dad was involved in Oliver's dad. Also the thing with Komodo and Oliver's half sister. Plus now this is leading into some war with the outsiders. Plus the island is apparently housing this ancient arrow. This ancient arrow that's apparently the symbol of the Arrow Clan, which is going to lead to this whole war between these other weapons types clans. I mean, there's the Shield Clan, an Axe Clan, etc. And also another thing Jeff Lemire did, he included Diggle in the DC universe now. Yeah, so Diggle from the Arrow TV show is now officially part of the DC universe. That is great. I think, and the way Jeff Lemire has been writing Green Arrow has felt a lot. I felt like this was a lot like the Arrow TV series, because as I was reading it, I was thinking, this kind of feels like I'm watching Arrow again. And and now that we have Diggle, it's definitely going to have the same vibe. So I think that if you love Arrow the TV series, but you haven't been reading Green Arrow, you should definitely be reading Green Arrow. Also, even if you're not watching Arrow the TV series, please get Green Arrow because it's awesome. Definitely my third favorite comic series of 2013. Now, and I just dropped that. Okay, number two of 2013, Daredevil by Mark Waid. This title is really one of my favorite Marvel comics. It's something I look forward to almost every month. Pretty much this year, though, Daredevil has had a lot to deal with. He's had to face a new villain, Ikari, who has the same powers as he does, the radar senses. However, unlike Daredevil, though, Ikari can still see, so that gave him an edge. Though not enough, because Daredevil still kicked his ass. And also he had another confrontation with Bullseye, who's revealed to be stuck in an iron lung because of the events of Shadowland. Again, Daredevil defeated him. And also, most recently, Daredevil had to deal with the Sons of the Serpent, who have pretty much been taking positions of political power in the New York City government, which Daredevil dealt with. And also, however, though, this year we've also had this overall subplot, co-plot, but it's a big deal because Matt Murdock's best friend and law partner Foggy Nelson was diagnosed with cancer at the beginning of the year, and since then Foggy's been in chemo, hanging in there, and Matt's pretty much been by his best friend's side, although there really is not much Matt can do, which is very sad because as Daredevil he's been having all these victories, but when it comes to helping his best friend, there's really not much Matt can do except just be there for Foggy. But overall, Matt's a good friend. He's still sticking by Foggy, and I think, the whole Foggy Nelson having cancer story arc alone is the reason why I love Daredevil. And Mark Waid does an impressive job showing the friendship that Foggy and Matt have. All right, now my number one favorite comic of 2013, and this really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who watches my videos frequently, but it's Superior Spider-Man. Yeah, Superior Spider-Man. That is my favorite comic of 2013. It was one of the first comics I read back in January, the beginning of the year, and the reason I think it's so great, and it's very interesting to see Doc Ock as Spider-Man. Okay, he's one of Spider-Man's most famous foes. I mean, pretty much if you talk to anyone who hasn't even read a comic but has seen a Spider-Man cartoon, they could probably recognize Doc Ock. So if you tell them that, and I tell my friends this, like, yeah, I know, I talk about, like, hey, you know Dr. Octopus? Yeah, he's that dude Spider-Man always fights. Yeah, he killed Peter Parker, switched bodies with him, and now he's Spider-Man. Seriously, I told my friends and they were all shocked. Like, they thought I was making it up, but no, I wasn't. So yeah, but yeah, Dan Slott, the writer, has been doing an amazing job with this. I mean, on the surface, it does sound like a terrible idea, because I think if you went back in time and told me back in 2008 or whenever One More Day happened that eventually Doc Ock was going to become Spider-Man, I would have just given up on reading comics altogether and just gone into something else. But no. But now I'm actually enjoying it. I really am. And I mean, every single issue has been entertaining. It's really funny seeing Doc Ock try to be Peter Parker while at the same time he's still acting like Otto Octavius. Like, he'll try to be Peter Parker, he'll be normal, but then like subtle hints of Dr. Octopus will be on the surface, like mainly his own mainly egotistical and arrogant comments about himself. Yeah, that's self-explanatory. But yeah, overall, Superior Spider-Man. It's one of the probably one of the biggest plots that's out there. A supervillain pretty much becoming his archenemy and being a superhero. It's pretty much one of the concepts that's really out there, but it works. It really does. I mean, seriously, if you get the chance, start reading Superior Spider-Man from the pretty much start with the last Amazing Spider-Man story arc, Dying Wish, then work your way to the beginning of Superior Spider-Man, because it is very funny, very entertaining, and it is definitely my favorite comic of 2013. Alright, so that's it for me. That's all. Those are my top 5 comic books I've read in 2013. What are yours? What did you think of my list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment below with what you think your favorite comics of 2013 are. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for sticking with me through 2013. Hopefully I'll have a lot more better videos in 2014. So please stick around. Spider-Man 1991 saying thanks for watching and Happy New Year.